If one agent tells you to auction your home and another recommends private treaty, how do you know who's right? Because despite what you might hear, auction isn't always better, and neither is private treaty. The right method depends on your property, your likely buyers, and the market you're selling in. One of the first things I look at is the type of property. Is it relatively easy to value because there are plenty of comparable sales? Or is it unique? Is it tightly held, or is it difficult to put an exact price on? Then I look at the likely buyer pool. If the property is likely to attract several genuinely interested buyers, an auction can be very effective. It gives the campaign a deadline, it creates transparency between competing buyers, and it also gives the agent an opportunity to bring that competition together. But what if you only have one genuine buyer? That's where things can become very different. An auction doesn't always magically create competition. And if there's only one serious buyer, you need an agent who knows how to negotiate strongly without relying on another buyer to push the price up. Private treaty can work extremely well when the property's value is reasonably clear, when buyers prefer to negotiate privately, or when you want greater flexibility around timing and offers. But private treaty has its own risks. Without a deadline, buyers can feel less urgency. So the agent needs a clear strategy for creating momentum and negotiating, rather than simply putting a price online and waiting for someone to make an offer. There are also some practical differences between the two. One advantage of auction is that if the property sells either before the auction or at the auction, the sale is unconditional, meaning there's no cooling off period. Private treaty gives more flexibility around price, timing, and terms. And there will often be a cooling off period, although that can be waived in certain circumstances. So there are advantages to both, which is why I don't believe the method of sale should ever be a one-size-fits-all recommendation. Market conditions matter as well. In a very competitive market, auction can be extremely powerful. But in a market where buyers are more cautious and properties are taking longer to sell, automatically recommending auction for every property doesn't necessarily make sense. And this is where I think sellers need to ask their agent a better question. Instead of asking, do you think we should auction? Ask, why is this the best method of sale for my particular property? And then ask them to explain the strategy. Who are the likely buyers? How many could we realistically expect? And what evidence supports their recommendation? And importantly, what's the plan if the expected competition doesn't eventuate? Because the method of sale itself doesn't produce the result. It's how well that method suits the property and how well the agent executes that strategy around it that matters. So if you're comparing agents and you're recommending different methods of sale, don't assume one of them must be wrong. Ask each one to explain the reasoning. That's where you'll often learn far more about the agent than you will from the recommendation itself. If you're preparing to sell, I share independent advice here to help homeowners make better decisions before and during their sale. Subscribe if you'd like more practical seller guidance, and you'll find my free selling resources in the description below.